Okay, welcome back to the First and Goal podcast. Jacob, how are you doing today?
It's another day. I'm actually feeling pretty decent.
I'm not doing too bad myself.
I feel like we got a lot of topics today. Shockingly, like after going through all of these, none about the Bears.
I'm surprised.
Well, I mean, one of them kind of does come back to them. And we can probably start right now. So
Um,
Justin Fields, he had a historically bad football game. Now I didn't share the stats with you, but do you already know what the stats are?
I do not.
So his QBR was a whole whopping 1.1. That is one of the worst games of all time. Um, it may actually be the worst game of all time, but to give you reference, if you don't know how 1.1 is calculated, if you were to take the same amount of attempts, which was roughly about 20 of them, and just spike the ball 20 straight times, your QBR would be 39.
Nice.
So for Justin Fields to have a 1.1, don't worry. Geno Smith played absolutely terrible. He was a 35. So Justin Fields, absolutely terrible. Is this what you expect?
I mean, Fields is talented, but my big thing on him is he looks like he's never been able to read a defense.
He didn't play well at all. And now he is actually injured, quote unquote. We'll see if that's true or not, or if this is a soft benching, similar to someone else that we'll talk about. But Tyrod Taylor is going to be starting for the Jets this week. Do you think that Justin Fields' days in the NFL are numbered completely?
I don't think so, because didn't the Jets give him a decent contract this offseason?
It kind of seems like they can get out of it after this year if needed.
Which makes sense.
But Justin Fields sucks, for lack of any other words. Are you looking up the contract?
Yeah, it's 2 years, 40 million, which includes 30 mil guaranteed. So
So
they'd
they could get
probably
out
lose
of it.
about 10 million to cut him this offseason.
And let's be real, next year they're not probably competing again. So cutting him is probably not the biggest deal in the world for the Jets.
No.
Well, at least you got 30 million paid. I mean, if you're a Bears fan and you're still not, this is how I'm bringing it back to the Bears. This is probably the only segment we can. If you're a Bears fan and you're saying, "Oh, we should have kept JF1," why? So you could play even more historically bad football? Like that doesn't change anything. Justin Fields and Caleb Williams didn't give up 52 points.
They could have played defense.
Might have been better, to be honest. But that's not something we have on the agenda for today. But Justin Fields historically bad, almost laughable at this point.
Yeah, what he went 2 for 11. He didn't,
I I think he had 13 yards. So, I mean, he had 50 yards rushing, but then
yeah,
did, like we said, get hurt. But Justin Fields, I think his days are probably numbered as an NFL quarterback.
which I mean, what the Jets have went from Zach Wilson to Aaron Rodgers to Justin Fields.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone in between those, but I don't believe so.
Mike White.
You have Mike White. I mean, they had Sam Darnold.
Darnold wasn't bad for him.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's crazy because out of the five last guys they've had, he's probably the one that succeeded the most with that team. Obviously, Rodgers is the best,
Because
but
yeah, they had that year that was almost, I think, when Todd Bowles took over, that they almost made the playoffs at like 10-6 or something like that.
he didn't play bad every single year, but he was definitely not a reason they were winning games.
Yeah.
He's not the Sam Darnold that we see in the league now.
No, he is not.
But Justin Fields historically bad. That'll be something we monitor through the rest of the season, especially if he even doesn't start a game. Because if Tyrod Taylor comes out and plays well, I think you just kind of stick with it.
Tyrod's the typical placeholder quarterback. I think he's done it in what, Buffalo, a couple other stops. So
We didn't have it on the agenda, but we're talking placeholder quarterbacks. Would you rather have him or Carson Wentz?
probably Tyrod. I mean, depends on what you. I think it depends on what team you have around him. Because Tyrod, you know what you're going to get from Tyrod. he doesn't really turn the ball over much, and he's gonna give you a little rushing upside, but he's not a guy he's not a guy that's gonna win you a bunch of games by himself. Where once, I mean, crap, that like what? That was almost a decade ago where he almost won MVP.
Uh, wow, yeah, that's been a while. Um, I mean, I guess real quick, let's stick on that. JJ McCarthy might be the worst player ever to get an offensive player of the week.
Yeah, he did not look good against Atlanta. Granted, that Vikings O line was beat up. I think Darisaw was out. There was a couple others. I think they were missing their starting center, but as an NFL quarterback, you're gonna not have perfect situations every single time. Granted, it wasn't most people's second start, but still,
There are rumors that this is not even an injury and this is a soft benching that's been circulating around like kind of the media bubble. But if that's true and JJ McCarthy, because realistically, let's face the facts, he's played 7 out of the 8 quarters very badly.
yeah,
He had one quarter where he played well, and I mean, I don't want to talk more about that. And he wins NFC Player of the Week. Still don't understand how. Like, there had to have been other options.
it was probably just the narrative.
I mean, that award at the end of the day doesn't actually mean anything, but
Yeah,
like, it's it's kind of stupid. Like, it doesn't mean anything, but you're also just gonna make the award meaningless if you're just gonna give it to whatever story you want to push in the NFL.
yeah. I mean, the NFL is a really narrative bit driven for their awards recently. Like, granted, Josh Allen deserved the MVP, but if you look at the stats, Lamar probably should have won it last year.
Football's very good in general of doing that. Yeah, well, I'll hold off what I'm gonna say. Let's go to the next one. Bo Nix. I don't. Did you see the video of him being really fed up with Sean Payton screaming at each other on the sideline at the end of that game?
I think that's yeah. I mean, I've seen. Granted, this is nowhere near what they're nowhere near these guys' level, but you'd see that all the time with Brady McDaniels or Brady and Belichick.
I agree. I think this does get like brought out of the water a little bit too much. But I think that it is something that we have to be concerned about because Sean Payton has really only won with one guy, and that was Drew Brees. And Drew Brees, I feel like you could punch him in the face and he's not going to say anything back to you. So
Yeah,
I am kind of intrigued on like this player coach or really quarterback coach relationship to see if Bo Nix just gets so frustrated and if this ends up turning into like the downfall for the Denver Broncos.
yeah. I don't read too much into it. Football's an emotional sport, and there obviously you just lost a heartbreaking game. I don't I don't see much. I don't take much into them yelling at each other on the sidelines. Like the only reason it looks bad is because they got caught on camera.
I would probably agree with that. Um, Now, did you see Jake Browning's wife or
No,
girlfriend? So she's always been kind of like the more stylish of like the wife and girlfriends or wags, if we want to call it that. This is more of just like a why are we doing this? And I'm showing it on the screen for the people that are watch or that are just listening. Um, People are just hating on her for trying to make the NFL more stylish, kind of saying like stay in your lane. All she really did was just cut up a jersey to make it look a little better on her.
yeah, I don't.
Why are we freaking out at women for just like literally not even like fans, wives and girlfriends?
They're freaking out at her.
Yeah, they're like going at her on X and just being like, "Oh, stay in your lane. Like this is inappropriate." Her husband is going to be possibly the starter, I guess, for the Bengals moving forward. Um, but what is going on? Like, why can't we just like let her kind of live?
I don't. I mean, she was probably getting a lot of interest on social media, and the wives might have gotten a little jealous of that.
But I don't even think it's wives. I think it's like just normal dudes from like Kansas. Like
Oh,
I don't think it has anything to do with like women. I think they actually want more apparel kind of like how she's cut it.
Yeah,
It's just
maybe.
a weird, it's just a weird internet dynamic that I feel like didn't maybe exist in like that publicly, but where did this come from?
Yeah, I don't know. I
It's like,
mean,
uh, look, I like you and I both know like where we stand on most things. I just don't understand the hate on having women like football.
yeah, I
Is it,
mean,
did it start with like Taylor Swift?
probably because I think everyone got so annoyed with what was it? Fox kept on showing her every game, or was it
To be honest,
everybody?
they both, everyone was. NBC on the night games, Monday Night
NBC was the
Football.
worst.
NBC was the worst.
But
But
yeah,
also,
they
I don't think she was going to many noon games.
no. But yeah, I mean, I think probably the Taylor Swift in football and then all the attention from the Swifties.
Yeah, it's just a weird dynamic, and like there's nothing we can really do about it. It's just more of like a like, please chill out. Like it's not the end of the world. She just cut up a jersey that has no back now. Who
Yeah.
cares? But let's keep it on Jake Browning. So obviously, rumors have been swirling that they've been reaching out to different teams. Before we get to a fuck Mary kill, and like this will be a fuck Mary kill, as in Mary, you're so happy with having this person as your quarterback for the next 3 months when Joe Burrow's out. Kill, I don't even want to watch football. But before we get to that, the person that we're not putting on this list is Packers backup quarterback Malik Willis. Do you see like do you understand why Packers fans are so against giving up him?
Well, last year there was talks about them want because Malik Willis came in and won 2 games for him. Well, I think he won 2 starts and then came in for relief for Love in the Jacksonville game and got him the win. He played well, but you can only run so much of your offense with him as quarterback. Like he does open up the run game, but I think like
I mean,
how
I
do
can
I
understand if you're like, I'd rather have Malik Willis than DTR, who like they did put out on a tryout this week, but I don't think Malik Willis is like the guy that you're like, yes, we can still win a championship if Jordan Love goes down.
yeah, I don't agree with that. I think it's delusional Packer fans that don't like Love
I mean, I don't understand like if you don't like Love, how do you like Malik Willis?
because it's something different. He did perform well. He performed well, okay to pretty good in his games. Like he what was it? He beat the I think he just performed well against the AFC South last year, which is
Okay.
probably the worst division in football.
Right.
Like he beat the
And
Jaguar. I think
And
he
that's
beat
a
the
that's a division he was like he knew. He
he
played
beat
for the
the
Titans.
yeah, he beat the Titans. He beat the Colts and came in relief and beat the Jaguars.
Oh, good. All three of those teams were top 10 picks.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but
I was seeing people that were like, if it's not for a second round pick, we don't want it. I was like, you guys would be lucky if you guys get a fifth round pick.
I think what he showed last year probably like yeah, fourth or fifth,
I mean, maybe you get a fourth round pick and you give up
or
Willis in a
maybe
seventh.
conditional for maybe like a
Yeah, like
conditional fourth or
there's gonna be
fifth.
conditions maybe, but like he's not that good.
Yeah, I mean he's played better than what he did in Tennessee, but he's probably not a guy you want starting for you week to week.
No. But now guys that you do want starting week to week, let's get into the fuck Mary kill. So obviously they already have Jake Browning. A fun option, obviously, would be to go Jameis Winston. And then the option that I feel like is just Mr. Consistent, you know exactly what you're going to pretty much get out of this would be Kirk Cousins. Where do you rank these guys?
I'd probably put Kirk Cousins did not look like
It was 1 year off of the Achilles injury though, too.
yeah, I mean, I guess because a lot of your power for quarterbacks comes through your legs, but it looked like he had no arm strength left at the end of last year.
So where do you like just with the fuck Mary kill scale, where do you rank these guys?
I'd probably put Jameis first, Browning second, and Cousins third.
I'm agreeing with you. Because also How fun would it be to have Jameis Winston throwing the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins?
Oh, they're gonna put up stats.
I think they said the single game record is 554 yards, which I actually can't believe that hasn't been broken. But I think he could do that by halftime. He
Yeah, imagine. So what they
he
have?
might have ten interceptions, but he might have 10 touchdowns with that.
Yeah, Jameis is he's a gunslinger.
Yeah, I mean, he is probably one of the most entertaining players of our lifetime, while not, I mean, like he was a Heisman Trophy winner, he was a number one overall pick.
He didn't have a terrible
He
first couple of
didn't
years in Tampa.
didn't play that terrible, and he didn't even have eyes.
Yeah,
Like he would be the type of guy that, at least if you're a Bengals fan, and you might be already sitting there saying like the season's over, Joe Burrow's out 3 months, at least have fun while you watch it.
he'd get. I think he'd get butts in the seats
Oh, he 100%. I would be tuning into Browns or yeah, to Bengals games.
just to see what
Um,
stats. Yeah, what T Higgins and Jamar Chase could put up with him.
both of those guys would be 1,000 yards by week 8. I think you got to get Jameis in the doors of Cincinnati.
And it probably wouldn't take much to get him away from New York if all the reports of how good Jackson Dart's been playing in practice is true.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and Russell Wilson, again, we talked about it on Monday's show. Um, I mean, Russell didn't play bad. They still lost. That was probably his best game in a long time, but you're fine moving forward with Russ as the backup if you decide now is the time to go to Jameis or sorry, to Jackson Dart. Um, and if you decide not to move to Jackson Dart right away, you're still fine just playing with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So I think get Jameis out of New York, get him to a team that's going to be contending too, because that'll be the even best part. They're still 2-0.
Yeah.
Get
I think
Jameis into a
Jameis could
contender.
probably keep you around 500 at
Yeah,
least.
and like let's talk about it. Like Joe Burrow's not actually out for the season. That's
Yeah.
the part that we're not talking about. If he can just get you to when Joe Burrow returns, now Joe Burrow is not going to be probably Joe Burrow for the first couple of weeks, but if you can get to Joe Burrow's return, a game over 500, I think you have a real chance of being the playoffs if you're Cincinnati.
Yeah. I mean, it probably depends how the teams below him play if Kansas City can heat up or not. But yeah.
Speaking of, oh, actually, no, no, let's save that for after the break. Um, one more topic before we go into our first ad read, though. Cade Klubnik out of Clemson. Before the season, there was a lot of talk that he could probably be even as high as a number one overall pick. He looks terrible at Clemson. If he is drafted early, is that enough to get a GM fired as soon as everyone notices that he cannot play football?
I don't know. Because a lot of GMs get a lot of leeway when they draft a quarterback.
Yeah, I know.
Probably adds like another year or like probably like a year or two onto what they should be actually at if that quarterback doesn't develop.
I'm already understanding what that's like again for the 100th time. But yeah, I mean, Cade Klubnik though, like he's not like the Caleb Williams or he's not like Justin Fields. He's not even playing well at college.
I mean, did you
Where
see that who was it? Because DJ Lagway threw what 5 picks last game against or last week against LSU. Did you see that the Florida fans were posting something about Josh Allen throwing 5 picks at Nebraska? I'm like, those aren't even close
that's not the
to the
same
same
situation.
thing
Josh Allen went to Wyoming and
with no
everyone knew
talent.
and knew he was like a raw talent. Literally, he was the raw talent. So I don't think that's even close. I mean,
Where you have
Cade
DJ
Klubnik
Lagway.
was a Heisman Trophy watch. He was the number one overall pick possibility. Um, a lot of people had Clemson to win the national championship. He looks terrible, and he might cost Dabo Sweeney his last year at Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, what they've lost to Georgia Tech and
They lost to LSU.
LSU. Yeah,
Um, are they 1-2
LSU
or
and
0
Georgia
and
Tech
3?
and didn't look very good against like Troy.
Yeah, that's what it was. So they're 1-2. I mean, I guess technically, all things considered, you could turn the table and honestly run it all the way to a playoff, but I don't think that's very likely with Miami.
Yeah, true.
So, all right, let's go into our first break. We'll just catch you guys on the other side. We just wanted to let you know about our friends over at SeatGeek. With SeatGeek, you can get tickets to your favorite sporting events, concerts, plays, and much more. It's so simple. Use code JDIETRICH, JDIETRICH, and they're going to hook you up with $20 off your next order. Use in the app or online on their easy to navigate website, and don't just live life but experience it. Again, the code is JDIETRICH, spelled JDIETRICH. SeatGeek, life's an event. We have the tickets. Welcome back, everybody. All right, so that was a read by oh Jesus by SeatGeek. Um, I had to get the order correctly, but we got to talk about NFL player nicknames. Is the coolest nickname right now in the NFL Indiana Jones?
Probably.
I mean, because Daniel Jones, against all odds, we're sitting here at 2-0 for the Colts. Now, you could say they probably should be 1-1. I don't know what Denver was doing on that field goal attempt late in the game, but Indiana Jones is a 2-0 starting quarterback in the NFL. He seems to just fit that entire team. Is Indiana Jones slash Daniel Jones going to bring this team to the playoff?
That division does not look very good. What, Tennessee with Cam Ward
I would say no, not making the playoffs.
and Trevor Lawrence looks like he's taken another step back, even with Liam Cohen.
And again, I would say not making the playoffs.
And that O line in front of CJ Stroud looks horrendous.
And CJ Stroud's not very good. So I would say not making the playoffs, leading us to say the Colts probably are winning the AFC South.
They're probably the most complete team, and as long as Daniel Jones doesn't turn the football over, I don't see why they couldn't make the playoffs. No,
Everything
I don't
hopes.
think. I think they'd be a first round exit, but
Well, they'll likely be the 4 seed, and then they'd have to play either like a team like the Chiefs or the Ravens or um,
the Bengals,
Bengals potentially. You're going to play the best wild card team, which is something you don't want to do in the AFC.
you do not.
So I would say Daniel Jones is going to be a great story. I think he's going to win the AFC South. I mean, when you have a top 3 running back in the NFL and Jonathan Taylor behind you,
And
um,
you probably have top 10 weapons around you too.
yeah, I
With
mean,
the
Tyler
way Tyler
Warren
Warren's
is
looked.
awesome. Tyler Warren is awesome. So
And
I
Michael
think
Pittman's no slouch either at wide receiver one.
no, and I actually feel like he got a lot of disrespect for a couple years now because he hasn't had the good quarterbacks throw him the ball. But Michael Pittman's always been a pretty solid wide receiver for this team.
And Alec Pierce is a pretty solid deep threat as well.
So I mean, I think the Colts are going in the right direction, certainly, and I think this is a playoff team, but their next like 4 games are like I would say another 3-1, so get the 5-1. Um, if you want to pull up that schedule, because I think it's like
They play
someone
the
terrible this
Titans.
week. Win Rams, I think next.
Let's
I believe
see.
it's Rams week 4 or
Yeah, they're at Titans, at
yeah.
Rams, home against the Raiders, home against the Cardinals, and at the Chargers.
So I think after this Rams game, your next serious game is Chargers.
I mean, the Cardinals could be good, but Kyler isn't that around when Call of Duty comes out?
Yeah, he'll be doing some promos for Call of Duty at that point. Or he'll be getting ready for the midnight release so he can hang out with the other kids that are 5'1". Um yeah, he'll be in full Call of Duty mode, so Cardinals won't be relevant by then. All right, let's get to something that's not really football related, but it is. Dan Campbell's post-win Starbucks routine is back. Now, I sent you the image. What is like, it's him and his wife, Holly. What is your first reaction to that?
I mean, I think it's kind of just the fact that Dan Campbell drinks Starbucks is a little weird to me, but
He does seem like a Dunkin' guy. Now,
no,
the
he seems like drinks straight black coffee, making it at home type of guy.
Folgers in my cup type guy.
Yeah,
The image is on the screen. My first reaction is now I came from a family that had small dogs. But that small dog, I feel like might be the biggest concern of his life because I almost think he is so serious about football that he doesn't actually have any fear of the game. Like there's no fear if he's going to lose the next week. I feel like he probably walks around that house so scared that he's either going to step or sit on that little dog because if he does that, that dog is never going to bark again.
It'll bark when he sits on him real quick. There might be a squeak.
It's not going to last very long, I'll tell you that. But it's just not the dog that I kind of expected out of Dan Campbell.
That's
Now,
100% his wife's dog.
there's two different there's two different sides of this. One, is he soft for having a little Yorkie and he goes to Starbucks on Monday mornings? Or is he just such an alpha that he does not care?
I don't think he cares.
I'm trying to just bring down Lions fans at all any way I can. But no, I think Dan Campbell's legit. I think he's a pretty cool guy, and this tradition is pretty awesome, to be honest.
That picture of him, he has no give. He doesn't give a single fuck about that dog sitting in his lap. He's like, why the fuck is this here?
Uh, I mean, Dan Campbell, keep winning, keep putting the images on X, or at least have your wife keep doing it because I'm pretty sure that's who that came from. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, the Lions are still pretty good. So 0-2 teams, some of them aren't very good, but some of them might just have tough schedules. Is there any 0-2 teams that you see right now making this playoff?
I mean, can I cop out and say the Chiefs?
I feel like that's the easiest answer for sure, but I mean, you wouldn't be wrong. I think that the Raiders look so terrible on Monday night that I don't think that that's the real team. Um, like
Yeah, I don't think that the AFC is very deep. I think it's pretty top heavy.
and your losses were to the Chargers and the Eagles. So
Yeah. I mean,
now
if the,
we've talked about it. Their schedule is very, very tough.
yeah,
So the Chiefs are a team that should make the playoffs. But if you told me that they don't make the playoffs in 4 months, I actually would not be that surprised.
I mean, the other 0-2 teams are typically the bad franchises.
Like who?
The Titans, the Browns, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Texans,
Yeah, I agree with all those.
the Giants, the Panthers, the Saints,
Oh, okay.
the Bears.
Yeah, yeah, no, the Bears are pretty bad. So I don't think they're making the playoffs. Um, but you never know. I mean, you got the Cowboys this upcoming week, and then you got the Raiders, who, again, let's talk about Ashton Genty. Is Ashton Genty as good as we thought he was? He's
Yeah,
averaging
was he just beating?
2.6 a carry. He played at Boise State, so he wasn't always playing Power Five, like tough schedules. And he's dropping the ball. He can't do anything in pass coverage. He almost got Geno Smith absolutely killed.
Yeah, it's not looking great for him, but
It's only two
was he just
weeks.
was he just beating up on the Little Sisters of the Poor in the Mountain West?
That's the question. I mean, does Ashton Genty is Ashton Genty going to end up being another Raiders bust?
Or our team's focusing so much on him because Gino can't complete a has thrown 4 picks this year that they're just stacking the box. And he's not the special talent like Adrian Peterson was, where he could face 8 or 9 in the box and still get
Well,
150 yards a game.
I don't think. I mean, he's so small too. Like, I don't think he is ever going to be able to be compared to Adrian Peterson. Have you heard
Well,
the
Adrian
compare
Adrian Peterson was the best
a
back of his
monster?
generation.
Yeah. Well, you could say maybe LaDainian Tomlinson, but
I think he was a little bit after. I consider,
if you're not including them in the same generation, then yes.
well, I mean, I've seen what Adrian Peterson can do to a defense that's trying to stop him. Where
Actually,
he, I think he set the single game record against the Packers.
before we go back, then I guess to the Ashton Genty conversation, would you put LT in like the Marshall Falk generation?
I think he's kind of weird. I think he's in that middle ground where like there was the Falk and what
Eddie George,
Eddie George, the end of Emmett Smith.
late Barry Sanders.
Yeah. because I think more of the Adrian Peterson generation of the CJ2K,
Gore.
Adrian Peterson, Gore.
So LT is just kind of like in the
I
middle,
think
man. Like
LT had
he's
like the mid to late 2000s, or Peterson had like the 2010s pretty much.
I mean, he carried Philip Rivers throughout his career, and anyone who says differently, I just don't agree with. But no, back to Ashton Genty. Have you heard the comparison to a former player that he is now receiving? Which I think if you get this throughout the rest of the season, it's not good looking. If
Who is
I'll
it?
give you one guess. Top five, I believe, pick, however many years ago, definitely out of the league. Has probably been out of the league pre-COVID.
I wasn't gonna say playoff Lenny, but
No, Trent Richardson.
Richardson was a little bit smaller of a back too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean Trent Richardson though did have that rookie year.
He did. And he looked okay when he got that trade to the Colts for I think a season or two.
Yeah, he didn't always play terrible, but like if you're Ashton Genty, your hope was that you were eventually going to be like one of the greats. Like you're hoping you're getting compared to Saquon or to I'm not going to put Derrick Henry in the same conversation because Derrick Henry's such a different back. Like a Jonathan Taylor maybe. Like yeah, it's not even close to where you're at though.
Yeah, I mean it is only 2 games, and the Raiders. I don't even know who their O line is.
Not good. But I mean, for the guy that can't get tackled, that's why you draft him. He's certainly getting tackled.
Yeah, I mean it might help a little bit if Gino doesn't turn the ball over 4 times and you're behind. Yeah, their O line is who the.
Let's hear it.
According to ESPN, their depth chart is starting right tackle DJ Glaze,
Hell yeah.
Jackson Powers Johnson, Jordan Meredith, Dylan Parham, and Colton Miller. So 3 pretty solid linemen, and then I've never even heard of the center and right tackle.
I'm gonna put together a graphic, but we're gonna start covering the Glaze gang every single week. We're gonna do a little update. We're gonna talk about Ashton Genty every single week now, and we'll talk about the Glaze gang and see if they get any better.
Yeah, I don't know what you
Who
expect me to
are
do
who
behind the.
are those guys?
Yeah, I think I've only heard of obviously Powers Johnson, Colton Miller, and Parham.
All right. The Glaze gang, all eyes on you, buddy. Well, buddies, I guess. But yeah, no, we're gonna go and do another break. This one's gonna be brought to you by BuckedUp. We'll see you guys on the other side. Hi guys, we're taking a quick break in the podcast to let you guys know about our friends over at BuckedUp. Use code WINNERS W1NN3RS for a percentage off of your next order. It doesn't matter if it's your first visit or your 100th visit. Code WINNERS W1NN3RS is going to get you a discount on your next order. Every order that we use does help out the podcast, and we greatly appreciate it. If you want pre-workouts, babe stacks, whatever it may be, use code WINNERS. Thank you, guys. All right, so that was an ad read by Bucked Up. Thank again to Bucked Up. Use code winners W1NN3RS. Before we get into MVP rankings, power rankings, and then one more ad read before our bold predictions for week 3. I want to preface this by saying I don't actually think that Miss Ursay is calling plays. I tweeted just jokingly the picture, and I said if she is responsible for the resurgence of Daniel Jones, then I think every offensive coordinator needs to take a lesson. Obviously, I was kidding. I don't think she's the reason Daniel Jones is good. But what did you think of seeing her on the sidelines with her own clipboard and headset?
I mean, it's kind of nice seeing an owner getting engaged with the players like that.
Well, there's another owner that's very engaged with his players, and it seems to backfire every single time. So I don't know if you want that.
What, Mark Cuban?
No, Jerry Jones.
I mean, there's a difference between her just letting like the football people run the team and just being like engaged, being at least she's interested compared to like some owners just kind of sit in the box talking to people all game. You at least that shows that she cares.
Well, and let's talk about in the box. watching a game. What are we making out of the entire situation with Tom Brady? Now, Tom Brady, it's been reported, supposedly he meets with Chip Kelly 3 times a week to discuss game calling and everything else. But then when he's with Fox, he obviously gets to do these like record, like he gets to do the production meetings. Now I don't think it's happened until now, but this is going to be the first big one because this week he is doing the Bears versus Cowboys. Now, if he needs advice on how to beat the Bears, I think there's different issues. But then the following week it is Bears versus Raiders. Like, what should the NFL be doing about this? Because truthfully, I don't know if it matters that much, but it's not a good look at all, especially if the Raiders win games that maybe we don't think they should.
I mean, how much though do coaches actually give to the media that actually matters?
Well, to the media, probably not that much. But like in a production meeting, I feel like you're like letting them know like, hey, we're going to get this guy involved because you want him like on the broadcast type thing.
I mean,
I
I don't,
just I just think
maybe.
there's slight differences versus like if you and I were to go to Lambeau or Hallis Hall in Chicago and ask like just random coaches for stuff. I think it's a little bit different when you have an organization like Fox or NBC or ESPN behind you.
I mean, maybe, but I don't think. I still don't think that. I think most coaches would hold stuff to their chest because if I was a coach, I don't think I'd trust the media as much to like that they wouldn't spread shit. I mean,
Well, it's not like the University of Michigan's ever had cheaters come through that program. And then it's not like
plus,
anything's ever happened with the Patriots that would make me think that maybe he cheats a little bit.
I don't think it matters too much.
I
I
I don't really think it does either, but for devil's advocate purposes, I'm saying it is a little weird that he's in the box with the headset on talking to the players and coaches.
I mean, it should be Greg Olson as the number one guy, but
Well, it should be. I mean, regardless, that wouldn't matter though. He'd just be on the number 2 team and you'd have different teams
yeah,
that
I
he's
know.
talking to.
But
Um, yeah, I just don't know how to feel about it. And I think it's only because the Bears are the first ones that are going to have to deal with this, of course, because that why would it not be? But
are you saying that you're betting on the Raiders to beat the Bears?
no, no. Bears are somehow favorites this week against the Cowboys.
I don't know. The Cowboys just put up
Yeah, and
how many
the
points
Bears.
against the
Well,
Giants defense?
let's hold on for a second. It is the Giants defense.
Giants held
Um,
the Commanders to 20 points.
yeah, but I mean, also the Commanders might not be as good as we think.
I mean, yeah, but the
Jaden
fact
Daniels is out, so
he hit, oh fuck, I didn't even
I
see that.
believe he's out. He at least is injured. Maybe he was in doubt, but I have a
I think I
feeling.
did see that he was injured after the game, which makes sense after how much he got hit on Thursday night.
Yeah. So I think that maybe Jaden Daniels also is not as good as we think he is because now teams have tape and sophomore slumps do happen.
I
So
mean,
we'll see
if
what happens, but I don't know. The whole Tom Brady bad, Miss Ursay funny, good.
you,
That's my take on it.
yeah,
Let's go into MVP rankings. We'll go one at a time, muting each other. I'll let you start, and whenever you're ready, just go 4 to 1.
okay. My number four is Justin Herbert. He's played pretty good to start the season, and he has the Chargers at 2-0. I know you're a big, not a big Justin Herbert guy, but I think he's been one of the top quarterbacks to start the season. And if the Chargers keep on winning and can take that division, I don't see why he couldn't be top 3 or 4 in the MVP voting at the end of the season.
Who do you have at number 3?
Number 3, I have Baker Mayfield. I did not realize how good he's been the last couple seasons since he's came to Tampa. I think he leads the league in touchdown passes and is like second in passing yards. I mean, granted, he's probably had the best wide receiver duo out of anybody to throw to with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. But still, I mean, it's been very impressive from Baker. He just does what the little things that's needed to win. I know you're a big Baker guy. Number 2, I have Lamar. He is Lamar's good. There's nothing else I can really say about it. He's always a top guy in the MVP voting. And again, he got outdueled by my number one guy in week one, but he still played really good that game. And my number one is Josh Allen. I mean, he didn't have the greatest statistical game against the Jets, but still did enough to get his team the win. And I think he's the best quarterback on the planet at this point.
All right. So my list, I kind of went a little different because I'm playing with the odds. So I do want to preface it by saying I do think that Lamar Jackson's probably one of the top three, if not number two. But let me go through my list. You guys are going to be pissed that I don't put Lamar Jackson in there, and I'm going to tell you that right the second that I didn't. But I'm starting off at number four, and that's Green Bay Packers quarterback, who's currently a co-favorite to win the MVP, in Jordan Love. I think the more this team wins, the better those odds are going to get, or I guess the worse that they'll get in terms of return money, but better in terms of it's going to be closer to being even. Um, Jordan Love looks like he has figured it all out, and he is one of the top quarterbacks in the league. I think that this team is going to only go as far as he can take them, and I've said that multiple times, but it's starting to look like he can actually take them all the way. At number three, I do have Justin Herbert because everything that he is doing is actually incredible. Um, for the first time ever, I'm going to say that he's proving me wrong on the Justin Herbert take. I think that he is actually playing better than I would have ever expected him to had he had a perfect situation. Somehow Quentin Johnston looks like he might be the new Jerry Rice, the way he catches the ball deep down the field. And that's only because Justin Herbert's putting that ball perfectly placed every single time. Keenan Allen looks like it's the Keenan Allen of 7 to 8 years ago. Lad McConkey is still very good. And this team is just continuing to get a little bit older and a little bit more experienced. And there's no reason to think that Justin Herbert probably doesn't do this the rest of the year. And if he can be the team to dethrone the Chiefs, it's going to be very difficult to not talk about him as being the MVP of the NFL. At number two, I have Josh Allen. Josh Allen played amazing week one. Week two, he didn't have a single passing touchdown. Now, he did break his nose early in that game, and realistically, he didn't need to throw a passing touchdown. So you can't really punish him for being a 2-0 team that blew out their week two opponent in the Jets by, I believe, like 30 plus points. So I'm not really saying that he lost the number one spot. It's more so my guy gained my number one spot, and that's Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is absolutely incredible late in these games. Now, could he be doing more at the beginning? For sure. However, he just continues to ball. He continues to win games, and he's putting this team on his back. He looked like he got injured late in that fourth quarter. He was kind of rolling, grabbing at his ankle. He sees CJ Gardner Johnson, and it's like all of a sudden something in his head flipped, and he just said, like, oh, wait, I forgot. I hate this guy. I need to get in his face and remind him who I am. He leads him down the field. There was a lot of questions on if Todd Bowles could call a game correctly with timeouts. They seem to have figured that out by getting an actual coach that's entire job is just to tell them when to call timeouts. It looks like the Buccaneers are putting this all together, and there's a real chance that the Bucs could be a top three seed in the NFL or in the NFC at least. And if that's the case, and Baker Mayfield continues to put up the numbers that he is, especially when Godwin's back and Igbuka had a bad drop that almost cost them the drive last week, but he's only getting better. And Mike Evans, like it looks like as long as he's healthy, he's going to be back to another 1,000 yard season. When you have the running backs that he has, I think that it's pretty easy to say maybe Baker Mayfield is the MVP favorite as of this point.
Yeah, I mean our lists are pretty close together. We have three of the same four, and Love has been playing incredible to start the season, but I
And
just
again, like I'm not saying I don't recognize the fact that Lamar Jackson's really, really good. It's more so like I just if I'm placing money, yeah, I could easily just place it on the four favorites, that being Lamar Jackson. But where's the fun in that? Like I want kind of that long shot.
yeah, I mean I did see somebody say that if Love keeps playing like this, they could see him because he might have the narrative of small school guy drafted later in the first round. And with a young and up and coming team leading them to a possible one seed.
Yeah, if you're the one seed, I think that's a really good indication that maybe they are the team. And when you're usually the team to beat, usually it comes back to your quarterback, and your quarterback's gonna get a lot of praise.
Yeah, it's either do you go with best player or best player on the best? Do you go with the best overall player or best player on the best team?
Right. And if we're going best player, I still think it's Josh Allen.
Same.
So we'll see. I mean, there's a real chance that the Bills are 17-0, and if that happens, then you just give the award to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So their schedule only gets their schedule is somehow is not that bad. I mean, yeah, they have to go through the Chiefs, but I think they get them at home. That division seems to not be that great, knowing that the Patriots had lost to the Raiders. Um, but we'll see what happens because Josh Allen could easily re-win this award again. But if we want to get someone new involved, I think it's probably one of those three guys that I named. So, all right, let's go into the power rankings. I will start. Again, it'll just be rapid fire, go through all five. If you don't mind muting yourself. So at number five, I do have some changes in my top five. I know last week I still had the Ravens in there. I'm removing the Ravens because at number five, I'm now going with the LA Chargers. I think, like I said for Justin Herbert, this team looks so good, looks so young. They are going to lose Khalil Mack for a couple of weeks, or at least an extended period of time. But I don't think that really matters because this team just seems to be clicking on all bases. And Harbaugh, whether you love him or hate him, seems to be one of the top five coaches once again in the NFL. I don't really think that if he would have went to a different team from the time that he was fired from the 49ers, I think we'd still be saying he's a top five coach in the NFL. So I don't think it was the Michigan that got him there, but I do think that he is recharged completely to wanting to win a Super Bowl now that he has the national championship under his belt. At number four, I do go with the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think that being 2-0 says a lot about that team, and they're not playing the prettiest of football. I think that that team has the talent that they could start blowing teams out. They just have not done it yet. But Baker Mayfield, for every reason that I said already, is an MVP candidate. So when you have an MVP candidate and your team is 2-0 and you're gonna pretty convincingly probably win that division. The Falcons didn't look amazing on Monday Night Football. They just played a really bad Vikings team, which looks even worse for my Chicago Bears, but not really related. Um, I think that the Bucks could easily cruise to another NFC South division winner, and then who knows what they can do in the playoffs. If you get the right Baker Mayfield, I think he can beat anyone in this league. At number three, I do have a little bit of a switch up. I'm going the Philadelphia Eagles at number three. Now, I know that can be a little rough because I are the defending Super Bowl champions and they have not lost, but I just think that the other two teams have just played so much better. Nothing against the Eagles. I think that the tush push is going to be interesting to watch the rest of the year now that teams are kind of going to be narrowed in on the offsides call. But I think that the Eagles are still going to be just as good, even without the tush push, when you have that offensive line and you have Saquon. And we really still haven't seen A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith get involved as much as they probably should be. This team is a sleeping giant somehow, even though they are the defending champs. They should have every target on their back. Yet there's been other storylines around the NFL that have somehow taken over, which I think is a very good position for them if they're not in the eyes of every single team. At number two, I have the Buffalo Bills. So, yeah, I think everyone knows who I'm going to be saying at number one, but they're winning the game very, very easily against the Jets. They win that close game against the Ravens. I already said I could see them being 17-0, and that's crazy to say if they're the number two team in my power rankings. The issue is that the number one team, the Green Bay Packers, have just looked so unbelievable through 2 weeks that I don't know how any team can stop them. Uh, Jordan Love looks like he is going to continue this history. Bart Starr, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, all of them have won the Super Bowl at their age 27 season, I believe is what the number is. So at 27 years old, Jordan Love, is he just the next guy to do it in this green and yellow offense? It almost looks like it's just another story that the sports guys have given us. Unfortunately for me, I don't love that, but it's just reality. This team looks like they can beat anyone on any given day. They look like they could beat any team in history on any given day. And I know that's only 2 weeks in. So let's see what they can do. But the Green Bay Packers are a real threat to be the best team in the league, and I think they currently are right now. So I'm not saying that I'm giving up on the Super Bowl hopes for the Bills, but if you are to say right now who's the best team in the league, it's got to be the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I mean, I went a little. I think I only have. I think I have two different teams than you on my power rankings. At number five, I have the Los Angeles Rams. I think that front four that they've built up is incredible with Braden Fix, Kobe Turner, Byron Young, and Jared Verse just rushing the passer. And they have some underrated safeties in Cam Curl, Cameron Kitchens. I think they have a really good defense. And if Stafford can stay healthy, he has the weapons around him where sky's the limit for this team. They probably have the best 1-2 tandem in the league in wide receivers if they can stay healthy as well with Puka Nakua and Devontae Adams. And they have a great coach in Sean McVay. I have the Rams slotting in at number five. At number four, I have the Green Bay Packers. They have looked incredible to start the season, but they haven't been able to get their run game going yet. They still have been leaving plays on the field. If Jordan Love can connect with those deep balls, they will move up my power rankings in the future. But they've been, I think, last week against the Washington Commanders, they had 10 penalties, so they need to clean that up as well. At number three, I have the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, yeah, the game was a little close for a while against the Browns, but they pulled away at the end, I think, winning by 3 scores. They took the Bills to the limit, who look like one of the best teams in football. And they have the number two guy in my MVP rankings as their quarterback. And I don't see anybody stopping that. It's very hard to stop that Lamar and Derrick Henry tandem. And if Lamar can just complete passes to Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and Isaiah Likely or Mark Andrews, I don't see this offense is incredibly hard to stop. And number two, I have the Buffalo Bills. They probably have looked like the best team so far to start the season. I think they destroyed the Jets, who played the Steelers tough. They beat the Ravens at home, who I think that is the best win of the season. But at number one, I have the defending Super Bowl champs. I mean, Jalen Hurts has not looked good to start the season, and they've beaten the Cowboys and the Chiefs. I think what Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown a touch is the I think this is like the first time or second time since the year 2000 that a quarterback hasn't thrown a touchdown pass yet, and a team started 2-0. So they have so much upside to start or to go. If Jalen Hurts can start completing passes to Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Steven Saquon, or AJ Brown, the sky's the limit for the Eagles. I think they have the most potential out of any team here.
All right, guys, that was the power rankings for going into week three. We'll see you guys on the other side of a real quick ad break, and then we'll get into bold predictions. One final break before we get to our predictions for Monday Night Football. We just wanted to let you guys know to go over to X, give us a follow at WOC Main, where we post our daily hottie in sports, memes, and also anything content related due to our podcasts or anything that we might find funny. Just go over to Twitter on X and at WOC Main. You'll find everything for Winners Only Club. Thank you. All right, guys. So that was real quick ad read just to go follow us on social media at WOC Main. We've been going kind of nuts on X, so don't miss that. But let's get into bold predictions before week three. And I have a pretty bold one that revolves around 3 players, not necessarily 3 games. I think we're seeing 3 veteran players start their last game or even just play in their last game for their current teams. I think Russell Wilson, this is going to end up being the last week of the Russell Wilson experience because I think we're either going to end up going to Jameis or right into Jackson Dart. I'm saying Joe Flacco. I think that we're gonna have to get to the Dylan Gabriel time sooner rather than later. And then this one's a non-quarterback. I think this is the last week DJ Moore is a Chicago Bear. I think DJ Moore's attitude has been pretty ridiculous through his last 2 years here in Chicago. And I think based on the Ben Johnson clip, which I'm gonna cue in right here, has kind of made it pretty tough for the players to kind of be continuing to do this. Someone needs to hold them accountable, and if you can't be held accountable, then I think you're getting shipped out of town. And I think with the noise around Hallis Hall, and it seems that Poles has kind of started to say like maybe his job is a little bit in danger as the GM of Chicago Bears, even though he just did receive that extension this offseason. I think that there's going to be urgency if he continues his bad habits to maybe get him out of town. And I could even see it being like a 1-for-1 trade. I think that the team that makes the most sense is the Giants. And that could be like a Kayvon Thibodeau or a Dexter Lawrence, just 1-for-1, get both guys, change the scenery. So I think that this could be the last game for DJ Moore.
Okay. So my bold prediction, I mean, the way they've started out the season, the Dolphins have looked horrible. I can see if the Bills winning by 3 scores over the Dolphins, possibility of Mike McDaniel getting fired.
Yeah, I like that one. I think that that story is going to be over by the end of the season. Now, this early is a little crazy, but I do actually like that pick.
I
All right.
I think it'll be tough for him to make it through halfway through the season.
Yeah, I mean, but probably by like what, week 8, you think?
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, that was an awesome week 3 preview. If you guys like what you see, go like, share, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do, no matter where you're watching, whether that's YouTube, X, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it, Rumble, anything. Go and share this with your friends. The more viewers, the better, obviously, for us. And we hope to see you guys again on the other side of the week when we are doing a post week 3 episode. Sam, any last words?
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. And hopefully we can keep putting out these episodes like this if you guys keep listening.
Peace, guys.
Peace.